Hello guys, welcome back to sanvfx. I'm back with a new tutorial, and today we're gonna look into using Pflow to add smaller details into our Rayfire simulations. Here's a quick example, and it's not too high quality, but okay. Here you can see the smaller debris bursting out as the sphere hits this box. So these are not fragmented by Rayfire, because if we fragment it using Rayfire, our computer is gonna be extremely slow, and sometimes it may crash if you have lots of pieces. So we can just easily create a large amount of small pieces by using Pflow. So that's what we're gonna do today. Okay, let's go to 3ds Max, create a box. Let me position it to center. Just press the W for the arrow key and right click the spinners. Okay, now length maybe 90 or so, with 4 inches, 4, and height maybe 150, around like that. Okay, that's good. Or maybe a length a bit more, 120. Too much, 100. Okay, it will be fine. Then press the J key to get rid of these selection brackets. Okay, J, and let me go to shaded mode, and also okay, press F4 for edge faces. Okay, now let me create a sphere. Make the Y spinner 0, and then let me move it back. Okay, and then I think it's a little more bigger. Let us animate this. So auto key, set key at the beginning, go to about frame 40 and move it back. Auto key, let's see, I guess it's a little too slow, so let me reduce it to maybe 30, or maybe to 25. Okay, that's gonna be okay for us, and maybe move it a little bit down. Okay, now let's go and open up our Rayfire. Open Rayfire floater. Okay, add my box to dynamic object and go to fragmentations. Here we're gonna make about 150 fragments, or maybe 100. Okay, 100 will do. Fragment. Okay, now we have got these bigger pieces. Okay, now let me send all of these to slipping list. If you are using older version, then there will be like inactive objects instead of slipping objects. They are the same thing. And let us set our sphere to static objects. Okay, let's go to physics tab. Down here, okay, home grid as ground option is turned on, and also you may want to turn on this dead slipping objects. If you want to know more about all these settings, you can view my Rayfire basic tutorial on my channel. And I have set revive dead by velocity by 30 right now, so let's see if that's gonna work or if we have to change it. Let me just do a quick preview. Okay, I guess that's a little too much, so I'm gonna increase this to maybe 45. Let's see. Okay, it's still not enough. Maybe 60. Preview. Okay, now that's good. Or maybe a little less. Let's go to about 52 or so, and preview once again. Okay, now that's good. Cancel. Now we can just bake our simulation. It's not going to take a longer time because we don't have that large amount of pieces. Okay, just a few pieces. If you have done like 1000 fragments and tried to make smaller pieces, then it would take a lot more time. Okay, now we have baked our simulation. So now we can close our Rayfire. Okay, now you can see they are really good, but they are moving too far away, but that's okay. Since our object is very fast, it's pushing our objects very far. Okay, but no problem. Now we're gonna work on with particle flow. Go to particle system, create a PF source anywhere in your scene. Okay, and go to modify tab, open up the particle view, or you can also press the 6 key to open up your particle view. Okay, now we have this standard flow system. I'll just delete the shape, rotation, and speed, and also position icon. We won't be needing any of them. Okay, now instead of position icon, I'll be using position object, and for my position for my object, for my particle position, I want my particle to emit from these pieces we are coming out of, or we are shooting out. So I'm gonna select all them, and by list, since I have selected them, I can just click the select. Okay, now I have all those pieces, and you can also see the particles are getting from these points. So let's go to birth, and I want my particles to emit stop at once. So we have all the particles at the beginning, you can see, from around our objects. Okay. Okay, now they are just staying right there, so we need to lock our particles to our emitter. So it will be locked to these objects, so you can see that they are moving along with those objects. Okay, now the next thing is we need to disperse these particles around, so we're gonna create a deflector. Let's go to space warps and deflector, and let me go to left view and create a deflector. Okay. Let's move this a little forward. It's too much, maybe. Okay, around here. Okay. Now to my particle view back again. I'm gonna add in a event collision spawn. Okay, so that we can make our particles hit this deflector and then disperse around. So let me add in my deflector. Okay, so now you can see as the particles hits the deflector, nothing happens. Okay, because we don't have any new event right down, so we need to create a new event with a speed operator. Okay, let me link this. Now you will see the difference is that the particles are falling down as it hits the deflector. Okay. One thing I'm going to change is, instead of adding a speed, I'm going to add a speed by surface. Okay, and for my surface, I'm going to add in my sphere. Okay, now if you see, okay, they are dispersing around. Okay, and okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a force and create two force, gravity and a wind. I want my wind to face that direction. Okay, and then add both of my forces in. By list, both select. Okay, let's see. Okay, now they are moving around. Okay, now what I need to do is set my gravity a little lower, maybe 0.8 or so, and for my wind also I don't want the strength to be that much, so maybe 0.5, that'll do. Okay, I think our particles are not behaving properly. Let's see, let me set my speed only. Let's get rid of that. Speed by surface and inherit previous. Okay, they are moving backwards, so let me reverse that. Okay, I think the gravity is too much, so let me reduce the gravity. maybe to 0.5 or maybe 0.4. Okay, now they are shooting more. Now next thing we gotta do is create our floor. So for that also we're going to create a deflector so that our particles will interact with the floor. Maybe create forward. Okay. Back also, and let me size it a bit. I don't need that much length, I guess. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, we have not added this deflector into our particles, so we need to add in a collision event again and add in my deflector. Go down, collide multiple times, maybe about 3 times, and then stop. Okay, let's see. They're sleeping too much, I guess. Okay, so we need to control the deflector, bounce maybe up to 0.3, and the friction maybe 30%. Let's see how it looks. Okay, it's sliding too much, so set it to 80%. Okay, let me bump this up to 100%. They are falling down. Particles are falling down. Okay, so we need to fix that before we get into any further. Okay, in order to fix the falling of our particles, let's go to our particle view, and let me put this collision down before the force, after the force, because if we put it up after the collision, the force will attract, so they are falling down. So we need to put it below the gravity or below the force. Now you can see they are just bouncing like that. Okay. Now what we can do is go to speed and make some variations. Okay, and also have a little bit more speed. Let us see. Okay, maybe also few diversions. Okay, let's see, let's check something else. Oh, that's not good. Init previous will do. Let me make a duplicate of this one by pressing the shift key just for test purpose. I'm again going to add in a speed by surface and add in my sphere. Let's see how it looks. Okay, it's not looking so good. Let's see if I have some options right here. Okay, I guess it's not working. So let me just delete that and add in a speed again. Okay, I was just testing with this speed by surface. Actually, in my case, previously I did that, but it's not working now, so I'll let that be. Okay, speed is working pretty fine for us. Now we can also play around with these winds, and so maybe decay, add in a little bit of decays, of strength as well. Okay, if we get the decay, it's not gonna push so far. Okay, it's good. Okay, that'll be fine. Let's see for the gravity. I guess gravity is fine too. Okay, that's not gonna affect anything. Okay, I guess we are done with the particle system. It's looking good. It's kind of like following our path, so it's good. Now the next thing is that using objects as our particles. So we have these pieces of concretes or whatever it is. So for that, let me just select a few of these pieces and duplicate them. By pressing the shift key and dragging them, we make a duplicate copy. And let me just group them, naming debris. Okay. Now let's go to particle view, and I'm gonna add in another operator called step instance. Okay, and down here I'm gonna choose my particle geometry, click this none, and click this one. And also I'm gonna take this group members so that we get all these objects in separate pieces. And next thing, go down to display and set it to geometry. Okay, now we have these pieces right here, you can see. Okay, now we need to change their orientation. Okay, let's go to rotation. Let me add in a rotation. Okay, also I'm gonna go ahead and reduce the scale down because I want them to be smaller. Also add in some variations, smaller, more smaller. Okay, let's see how it looks. Okay, so we have got a pretty good particle system. So you can see our particles are shooting out, but I think they are a little too bigger, so let me go to my particle view, step instance, and reduce the scale size and a bit more variation, some more. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna increase my particle amount to maybe 500 so that we have a lot more particles. Okay, you can see from this direction right here. Okay, that's looking good. Now let me just duplicate this particle system, all of them, just shift and drag. Okay, let me just rename this one to bigger debris, and oops. Okay, let me just zoom in, rename to smaller debris. Okay, so we have the same particle system back here again, and what I'm gonna do is go to speed and change in some speed variations and divergence as well. Okay, and maybe increase the speed a bit more and reduce this divergence to something around. Let me go to step instance and increase the scale size so that we have a little larger chunks, and variation is good at this point. Okay, so we are getting the main idea here is creating two particle systems for having larger pieces. Okay, and that's good. Let me go to speed and add in a lot more variation to my speed so that some pieces fall down earlier. Okay, I guess that's good. I think it's too much of divergence in the first one as well. Maybe a little less. Okay. Also, again, I'm gonna duplicate this one more time. You can duplicate them a lot of times and create a really massive particle system. Oops, sorry. Okay, here we have. Really, I have got a really small space since I'm reducing my resolution, so it's a little difficult. So for the last one, I'm going to go to force and let me have a lot more influence of gravity for this one. And let me just delete the wind, remove. And let's see how it's look. Let me turn off my other particle system. Okay. Okay, now they are falling down here as well. Okay. I think the bounce is too much for our deflector, so let me reduce it to 0.25 or maybe 0.2, and a little less frictions as well. Okay, that looks good. Turn on, and for this one also turn on. Let's see now. Okay, I guess the wind is too much, so you gotta go ahead and keep adjusting settings so that you get a better result. So you can see we have got lots of pieces. If we count 500 over here, 500 here, and 500 here, and also we have also spawned it, so there are lots of particles. Okay, actually we have just set my offspring to 1, so let me set that to 2 for our first one, and for the second one as well, to the 2. Okay, that much will do. And for the third one we need to make some variations with speed, and so it's not getting bigger. Okay, for speed, less speed, less variation of speed, and little less divergence, and so, and also for substance, bigger chunks or chunks, more variations. So okay, so this is the way of creating the larger systems of crashings with Pflow. Actually it's, I guess, too much of particles for this small hole, but let's suppose if this was a larger area like building crashing, it really does need all of these weights, these pieces, and so you can just play around with your particle systems and get a better result than mine and have. Okay, now for the rendering part, I'm not going to render anything, just how to apply materials to your textures, sorry, to your particles. So what you can do is, we are using these pieces as our particles, so we can just apply a simple material to this one, and your all particles will change to that material. So it's as easy as it is, and don't ever delete this file, otherwise you'll not get all these systems right here. So just hide it at the time of render. Okay, I hope it was helpful. I will see you next time with more tutorials. So till then, have a great time. Thank you.